next question will come from Reverend Johnson. We'll start with Mr. Johnson.
Governor Johnson, in the last 10 years, the U.S. has seen a massive stock market crash, followed by a housing crash, followed by publicly funded bailouts and buyouts of large businesses, followed by a soaring debt. What is your remedy, if any, for these calamities?
First of all, I share in the outrage of the Tea Party, which is let's slash spending. But I also share in the outrage of Occupy Wall Street, which is this country doles it out unfairly. Both parties have their hands out, politicians have their hands out, for you to pay them, whether you're an individual, whether you're a group, or whether you're a corporation, for your special favor, or your special comeuppance, or your advantage in the marketplace, as opposed to government creating a level playing field. A level playing field is not any bailouts whatsoever. I was opposed to those bailouts. I'm opposed to any future bailouts. I'm a free market guy. I'm asked, what about criminal prosecution of those on Wall Street? You know what? It's probably because none of them committed any crimes. They just made some incredibly bad decisions that should have been rewarded with them going broke, not us bailing them out, which I'm absolutely outraged over for, and the fact that they're getting bonuses right now.
Well, I'm tempted just to say what he said. But I won't say that. I hate to sound like a broken record, but here again, the way I'm interpreting this question is, how does the president fix the economy, basically? The problem is one man can't fix it. Can't create any jobs. The only jobs he created are more expensive jobs for us bureaucrats. What we need is deregulation. The research has been done, it's been highlighted in Dr. Lee Wrights' fine book, Healing Our World, where every regulator that loses their job, 150 private sector jobs are created. So I intend to get there and fire as many bureaucrats as I can. That's going to 150 every time. That's how you build the economy, is get out of people's way. Let them, the people are the economy. You got to be out of their way and let them prosper, and the whole country will prosper.
Leroy Saunders?
Ditto. What I would do is I'd establish a tax rate for all Americans at 18%. I would close all of the loopholes, foreign shelters, tax shelters overseas. The only deductions would be mortgage interest, children, retirement, healthcare, and charity. The other thing I would do is I created a bond formula in which our government, let's say here in Florida, there's $1 million worth of road that needs to be fixed. The government can sell a bond to the investment community at a 5%. Now what we've done is I've created jobs, we got the highway going, we have to pay back $1,050,000. Well, remember, $1 million of that money is the investor's own money. So technically, only what has to come out of pocket is $50,000, which is the interest. Through my immigration policy, through Medicare fraud, $100 billion, through closing overseas loophole tax shelters, that's $100 billion. I have $249 billion that I can pay the upfront cost of the bond. But over the years, what will happen is, through sales, through taxes, that is how we can get Americans going back to work and also stabilize the housing market.
Mr. Briscoe?
How many remember the Three Stooges? Okay, crashes are caused by just one thing, and that's bubbles. Bubbles are caused by just one thing, and that's by banks being in complete and total control of the quantity of the American monetary system, in complete contradiction to the U.S. Constitution. Secondly, mortgages were sliced and diced, and they were sold multiple times. The same mortgage simultaneously was sold in multiple arenas. This is clear-cut fraud, clear-cut theft, and it needs to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. This notion that they just made a bunch of mistakes is nonsense. These were criminal acts that continue to this very day. That's it.
Too big to fail. You know, we should have allowed them to fail. We should have broken them up into competing companies. Imagine that we have investment products now that have built in $500,000 bonuses to the employees of a huge, too big to fail organization. If that organization had been broken up into 30 competing organizations, competing with investors for a better product at a higher rate of return for them, that would eliminate the $500,000 bonuses in a competitive market. From a foreclosure standpoint, the solution for foreclosures, and this is what I do, I defend foreclosures throughout the country. The resolution of this, as I see it, is to, if a person can't pay the mortgage at this rate, and they've proven it by loan modification applications, then give them a mortgage at the present value of the property, at the present interest rate, which is all they would sell the property for anyway, or less. There should be a right for the people to remain in their property under those circumstances.
Imagine our economy finally unburdened by the trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars we've spent on this illegal and unconstitutional federal drug war. Imagine an economy unburdened by stopping the spending of trillions upon trillions of dollars of an interventionist foreign policy. Imagine our economy unburdened by all the federal socialism, which we all know is unconstitutional, and if we stopped all of that. Imagine an economy that was no longer being undermined by the fake creation of money by a Federal Reserve System using a debt-based currency. As president, I will restore a constitutional monetary policy, a constitutional currency, and I will eliminate all of this unconstitutional, illegal spending, and that will allow our businesses to come back, our small businesses to thrive. It will put people back to work, and it will solve the budget crisis.
The next question will go to Lee Wrights, and that will be read to by Audrey Post.
It seems that you're all in favor of drug re-legalization, yet there are 3 million in the United States jails. More than half for drug usage. Some characterize the war on drugs as a war on our children. How would you deal with this problem of so many inmates in jail?
Stop putting more inmates in jail, for one thing. We need to declare peace on the war on drugs. This has been the most miserable failure this country has ever seen. A classic example of how war does not work. There are people out there killing each other. The drugs aren't killing them. They're killing them because we have taken small, cheap plants and turned them into extravagant profits for black market industry, for organized crime, much like Prohibition. There was no mafia before Prohibition. They outlawed alcohol, and it built the biggest criminal organization this country has ever seen. Prohibition is death, and the death that it causes is worse than the drugs themselves. All of this because we're afraid. We're afraid of this demon drug, or this whatever other demon that we're at. These wars don't work. It's time to declare peace. Stop putting those people in jail and release the nonviolent drug offenders that we have in there now.
What needs to be done is you need to understand the problem. The problem is not the war on drugs. The problem is prison is a big business. For every inmate, they get money from the government. Slash that funding, you'll see a large decrease in people being locked up for minor petty crimes. That's the real problem. Prison is big business. You cut the funding, you don't have to worry about it anymore because they don't have the money to imprison these people. But also, I just want to take time and just let you understand that if you want to curb the behavior on Wall Street, we have a law in place already. When they stated that corporations are people, what I would do is, John Corzine, you end up arrest for the murder of MF Global. I'd put him in jail, and then I'd seize his assets. That would send reverberations to Wall Street and then have CEOs acting irresponsible.
Yeah, well, I'm on the record for decriminalization. We've given a monopoly to a violence-prone Mexican drug gang group of cartels that'll kill you for nothing. They'll kill you for a buck. And that type of violence is eventually going to work its way north across the border, and that's got to be stopped. And Leroy's absolutely right. The big prison business plays a factor in this, too.
Totalitarianism?
I have an unusual solution in some respects, and that is that I like the #1 website in the world on prosecutorial abuse. I'm not a criminal lawyer, but I worry about that quite a bit. What we need to do here is to estimate the cost of a single incarceration and then charge the homeowners a tax on their real estate in the year of the conviction for each conviction that a prosecutor comes up with. And you'll find that the public will stop this excessive prosecution and jailing of people. We'll do it because it just costs too much and we don't realize it.
On day one of my presidency, I will pardon all citizens of the United States who have been locked up or in prison for nothing more than what substance they choose to put in their own body. And I will also pardon all citizens who have been locked up for nothing more than engaging in the right to keep and bear arms. See, this is where it all starts. This war on drugs is hideous. It is not just a war on drugs. People use that as like a war on a thing, but it's not. It's been a civil war on our citizens. The prohibitionists of the 1930s and 1920s knew that to prohibit alcohol in its use required a constitutional amendment because it was a direct